The Russia-Ukraine conflict has been marked by relentless fighting and escalating tensions. However, a recent development has introduced a glimmer of hope for a potential resolution. Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed his willingness to engage in direct ceasefire negotiations with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This marks the first time since the early days of the conflict that Putin has shown openness to such talks. Putin's previous stance demanded new Ukrainian elections before any negotiations could take place. This shift in position signifies a potential change in Russia's approach to the conflict. It has been met with cautious optimism by the international community, eager to see if it will translate into concrete steps towards peace. The world is watching closely as this potential turning point unfolds. The conflict's human toll has been devastating, with countless lives lost and cities reduced to rubble. A ceasefire and meaningful negotiations are crucial for ending the bloodshed and alleviating the suffering of millions caught in the crossfire. Despite Putin's overture, skepticism remains high due to the stark contrast between his words and Russia's actions on the ground. Even as the offer for talks was announced, Russian forces continued their military operations across Ukraine. Cities like Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, and Odessa have been targeted in recent attacks. These attacks have resulted in civilian casualties and further destruction of critical infrastructure. A particularly devastating strike on an apartment block in Zaporizhia claimed the life of a woman and left 20 others injured, including 4 children. Such incidents raise serious doubts about Russia's commitment to a peaceful resolution. The international community has condemned these attacks, urging Russia to cease hostilities immediately. The dissonance between Putin's words and Russia's actions undermines the credibility of the ceasefire offer. It raises questions about whether this is a genuine attempt at peace or a tactical maneuver to buy time and deflect international pressure. Putin has outlined his reasons for seeking negotiations, stating that Russia has always been open to peace initiatives. He has expressed a desire to discuss ways to avoid civilian casualties and protect civilian infrastructure. He has also expressed hope that Ukraine shares the same goal. However, Zelensky and Ukrainian officials have met these statements with skepticism. They point to the continued Russian attacks as evidence that Moscow's words do not match its actions. Zelensky has reiterated his proposal for a 30-day ceasefire on long-range drone and missile strikes on civilian infrastructure. Zelensky has emphasized the need for concrete actions over empty promises. He has called for a genuine commitment from Russia to end the violence and engage in meaningful dialogue. The international community largely supports Zelensky's stance, urging Russia to demonstrate its sincerity through tangible steps towards de-escalation. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining the trajectory of the conflict. Diplomatic efforts are intensifying, with Ukraine engaging in talks with the United States and European countries. The goal is to push for an unconditional ceasefire and a framework for lasting peace. The involvement of international actors like the United States and the European Union is seen as crucial for mediating between the two sides and ensuring a sustainable resolution. However, the path to peace remains fraught with challenges. Deep mistrust between the parties, coupled with ongoing violence, creates a volatile and unpredictable environment. The world watches with bated breath, hoping that this fragile opportunity for peace will not be squandered. The stakes are incredibly high, not just for Ukraine and Russia, but for global security and stability. The outcome of this conflict will have far-reaching consequences, shaping the geopolitical landscape for years to come.